Momokun is the Logan Paul of the cosplay community.
You are so right.
No almond milk today, guys. Let's get this started.
For those asking about the break that I talked about in my post, I will not be attending San Diego Comic-Con anymore. I won't be attending RTX, and I won't be attending PAX West. I will be at Dragon Con and BlizzCon this year. Possibly New York Comic-Con. Possibly. Yeah. Days have been hard, and I'm not saying this as like to bring victimization of myself at all. I'm just saying it would be hard for anybody.
Then why mention it at all, Mariah? I'm not mentioning this to bring victimization to myself, but then does exactly that a second later. Like, there's no reason for you to mention this.
But today it was just a lot better mindset and mentality after talking to a lot of people, and yeah. Or my comfort flannel. Everyone has a piece of clothing that they really like, and my flannel happens to be one of those. It makes me happy. It makes me feel comfortable. Unlike how I made people feel, which is...
Can you please stop with the, zooms like this? Because, like, I know you're trying to do emphasis, that you're trying to be funny, but you're trying to be serious at the same time, but the zooms, they're really not funny when you're trying to be serious to address something.
I hope that this is not just a lesson for myself, but for a lot of people in the community, since it's not just me. There's lots of other people who are guilty of this.
Here's a small piece of criticism for you, Mariah. When you do something wrong, to even mention the fact that, well, other people have done it, other people have done what I've done, that's not an excuse, that's not a justification. There's no reason for you to even mention this, that other people have done what you've done. Because that just takes... You bringing up other people who have touched people without their consent or sexually harassed anybody, the fact that you're bringing that up and using other people is your attempt to dissuade and take pressure and take attention off you because other people have done the same thing. We're talking about you and your actions, the things that you've done, your behavior. There shouldn't be mention of other people doing the same thing.
And I hope, please learn from... Don't want to see this happen to anyone else. And if I have to be a martyr for this, for myself and lots of other people to learn their lessons, so be it.
Yeah, Mariah, you're a martyr. You're a martyr in the cosplay community. Well said. Well said. Salute to you, Mariah. You're really gonna compare yourself, one of the biggest bullies in the cosplay community, one of the most toxic people that I've witnessed with my own eyes at PAX last year. You're gonna play the whole martyr card?
At the end of the day, I don't care too much about what people view me as. Because I know who I am as a person. You don't know me, but you can think you know me. And I know that I just really like the cosplay, and I really genuinely love people. Love people. Not in like a sexual way, but like, I care wholeheartedly for people. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for, just wanting me to be a better person and wanting to see me make better decisions. I know I do. You guys rock. I love you. It's actually been a while since I've actually been able to like talk like this, been able to make an Instagram story. It feels good to smile again, and it's been a while since I could. I've literally been inside crying and or playing fake granddaughter to stop the tears, but still crying at the same time. Also, I'm not sure what everyone keeps talking about sponsors for some reason. I haven't lost any sponsors. I didn't even have any sponsors. What?
Mariah, this is something that I've seen you say numerous times, is that you don't have any sponsors. And in this video here, you mentioned it again. I don't have any sponsors. What's this? What's that? What's this? Like, what's going on here? That's a sponsor. I'm sorry, but if you're posting on your 500,000 account Instagram, right, and you're putting hashtag ad, that is a brand / sponsor. Like, why would you lie about this? This is such a petty thing to lie about, that you don't have any sponsors. Although conventions themselves aren't necessarily always sponsors, You've been dropped by numerous different conventions, are in fact promoting you, although that's a little bit different. But don't lie about something so basic and petty about as spawns. I don't understand why you'd lie about this. It's all over your Instagram, but of course you don't remember anything that you post, so why should you hold yourself accountable to anything that you say, right?
So, for the meme going around right now, do not blame sexual assault and ADHD. I merely said I had it. And because of that, leaves a lot of impulsiveness. I explained that I do not see that as an excuse. I was trying to give some context to where my idiocy comes from sometimes. But the memes are funny. I'm not gonna lie. There's one guy digging a he was digging a fucking hole and he was saying stuff and jumps into it and I lost my mind. Get it, we all can laugh at my expense. I get it, man. I get it, okay? Yeah, I hope you guys can understand, like, what's sarcasm and what's not in these posts. I do take everything that happens seriously, and I do really care about what's happened. It just felt good to kind of just talk and, like, giggle. And maybe it's not the most appropriate time to do so, but, I know I really needed to. I just needed to, like, make myself laugh, because as someone who laughs as much as I do, like, laughs all the time and, like, loves to laugh and, like, genuinely smile, it's been really hard not to. And I'm not trying to make my victim of stuff like that, because I know there's nothing I say is right. I know and I understand.
It's actually quite pleasant for me to just sit on the sidelines and watch her with a shovel dig her own grave more and more and more, and I don't really want people to forget about this. This is something that we just can't just throw under the rug just because she's a woman and she did this. But folks, that was her Instagram story the day before she released her actual response video, and now, for the real icing on the cake, yet again.
Hi there, my name is Mariah. I do cosplay on the internet, and recently some stuff has happened where I believe there's a response needed from me, because there's a lot of people angry and a lot of people saying a lot of crazy things right now, and I need to talk to you guys. I have always been an impulsive person, no matter what it's been, and it's gotten me into more trouble than I'd like to admit. I've been like that since I was a kid. I just act without thinking sometimes. I get excited, I get overwhelmed. That's just how I am as a person. Impulsive actions have never been met with malicious intent. I have never meant to ever be malicious with any action that I cause or that I do. I'm a very, like, loving person, and I really love people and genuinely care about people.
Question, Mariah. So when you told a they should kill themselves on social media because one of them was critiquing, I think they were insulting your cosplay, if I remember. Now, I guess you could dismiss this as a joke. If it is, then my bad. I'm just gonna say here, flat out, if you're being scrutinized for a cosplay or you're being criticized for anything, your response to tell someone to kill themselves is really one of the most unprofessional that you can possibly make, and it just really goes to show how much cow dung that you're full of. Everything you say in this response is disingenuous. Let's just lay this out flat for everybody. You can blame things that you say and do on your impulsiveness, but even though you explain that it's not a justification or an excuse, you keep bringing up your impulsiveness, therefore that's why you do things. We understand that. We get that you're an impulsive person. The fact that you keep mentioning it over and over and over and over and over again doesn't do anything. It's not going to make us feel any worse for you. I just want to kind of roll my eyes because it's ridiculous that you keep using impulse as a response to explain why you do things. We get it. You're stupid. You can't control your actions. You're all over the place. If you're in the celebrity spotlight like you are, then maybe you should pull out of that celebrity spotlight and stop cosplaying, because it's only going to cause further issues in the future if it's not something that you can get under control or take medication for.
But there's many times where I have mixed close friendships and my relationships and boundaries with those people with people who are not close friendships and more so acquaintances. Within the last year, I've come to learn so much about what consent is.
I'm somewhat perplexed by this one. How do you blend close friendships with just people who you don't know? How do you compare those two things with being touchy-feely with them? Like, I don't I don't get that.
And boundaries after entering the costume community or the nerd community, where everyone is very touchy and very like over exaggerated, everything's really crazy. I took some time for me to learn what is okay, what's not okay.
I'm confused by this point where everybody in the nerd community or costume community is touchy-feely. I don't know what you're talking about in regards to that. People who I know in my cosplay community and people that I've cosplayed with, I don't, that's not accurate word to use, is that we're all touchy-feely. That's like a huge generalization of people in the cosplay community. In fact, for the people that I know, it's quite the opposite. Same with me. The idea of someone just being touchy-feely with me automatically who I don't know, I have a knee-jerk reaction unless I specifically like say, hey, give me a hug or something like that. The fact that you even just mentioned that everybody's touchy-feely, as that somehow gives you more of a context to do what you do, isn't no, that's bull crap. God, I wish I could swear on this.
Like who you can do certain things with and who you can't do certain things with. In many relationships with people, I've come to realize that I've touched people without their consent, not realizing that it is a form of sexual assault or sexual harassment. So from seeing this so much in my own friend group, I believe, you know, this is okay, like messing around, playful, it's consensual, but I realize now that it's not. I realize that it's inappropriate behavior, whether it be playful or malicious, no matter what, it's inappropriate. To touch someone without their consent, there's no excuse. Don't touch anyone without their consent.
Why are you smiling? I don't understand why you're smiling and almost like chuckling. Is it because you're nervous? Is it because you're just disingenuous and insincere and you know that this is all gonna just, you know, blow under the rug and everybody's gonna forget about it? There's no reason to be smiling, okay? There's no reason to be smiling under real inappropriate things that you've done to people. This just goes to show that you're really not taking this as seriously as you should.
As a woman, I should be leading by example and not participating in such problematic behaviors, like at all. There is no excuse for my actions, whether it be ADHD, impulsiveness, or being a idiot. There's no excuse. Sometimes I fight back with my initial response to criticism or accusations or wrongdoings because I don't want to feel like I'm in the wrong. Like no one wants to feel like they did wrong, but sometimes you gotta like remove yourself, step back and be like, you did wrong. My immediate response was impulsive and thoughtless. It wasn't really well educated at all. In no way does it excuse my actions in the slightest. I personally do not think I'm above criticism in any way. I've never felt that way about myself. I think it's the exact opposite. I think that a lot of what I do should be criticized and should be looked at thoroughly. I don't think I can say or do whatever I want. I think it's the exact opposite. I think I can't say or do whatever I want. I think I feel like a lot of what I do is looked at under a microscope, and I understand why it is. And I'm not mad about it at all. I know everything I say and or do will be discussed thoroughly, so I sometimes like freak out about what do I say, what's the right thing to say, what's the right thing to do, and I overthink myself and I kind of just put myself into a bigger hole and I just goof myself over and over again. And because of this, I really need to learn from my mistakes and actions and move forward on this. I reached out to the girls that I disrespected or made feel uncomfortable, and I understand that I made them feel uncomfortable or unsafe when I should have been respectful and nothing but supportive.
Mariah, I'm confused again. You claim that you reached out to the people that you've made feel uncomfortable when if they go to your Instagram or your social media, they're blocked on everything. How do you reach out to people who have come out about how uncomfortable you made them feel when you have them blocked? What? Yes, I made somebody feel uncomfortable by something I did. I'm going to block them. Bravo! Do you understand why people think that you're a load of cow dung? I mean, you block people who have come forward and expressed that you made them feel uncomfortable, and you block them. I don't understand. How do you reach out to people you block? What? I don't...
Apologize for my actions, and promised to improve my behavior to them, and have spoken to a few of them behind the scenes, and that's why this video kind of took so long, because I wanted to talk to them first. And I am beyond thankful to the girls that have responded to me. If there's the other girls that haven't, I hold no ill will. I know that I wronged them, and they owe me no words. It is on their own accord.
You're right, no one owes you anything, and no one will ever owe you anything. Because like I mentioned in my last video, you're a toxic cesspool to the cosplay community, and I honestly hope that the cosplay community as a whole does not forgive you for your behaviors that's been rampant for the last 5 years, or however long you've been cosplaying. I don't know the exact amount of time. I'm not trying to be intentionally negative just because you're a girl. I would respond the same way if it was a guy. But there would be so much more... This double standard really angers me on how this isn't as big as it should be because she is a woman. And you know that that's just the case. If this was any notable male cosplayer, there would be banishment from everything.
And I understand completely. To the girls, to the fans, to anyone who might have felt affected or disappointed by my behaviors, I am sorry. What I'm going to be doing now is I will be taking a small break away from cons to reflect and understand how I've affected this community and how I've affected people, and to allow people to heal from my wrongdoings. I think that is the best option, and it's what I believe. And you know, I understand I had a lot of cons planned these next 2 months, but I apologize. I'm going to be canceling them all. I really believe that I need to do this, and I really need to take time and step back. I apologize for the weird camera change. My battery just died on my camera. I was like, fuck. I will be taking a break away from cons right now to reflect and to truly understand my own wrongdoings and how I affected this community. I will continue to cosplay and do my work on Patreon, but I'm not going to spam myself right now and put myself out there too much while the wound is still fresh. I don't think it's a good idea. I would like to give this community time to forgive me, and if they can. I don't think anyone owes me anything right now. I genuinely love this community so much and the people that are in it. It's heartbreaking right now, and I'm very sorry. And I really genuinely want to see the best in this community. I want to see nothing but a positive narrative spreaded throughout this community. Inappropriate behavior should not go unpunished, and I agree completely with this.
So what exactly do we as a community, whether that be YouTube or a cosplay community, what does the community do when you have somebody such as Mariah, who has screwed up more than once, twice, 3 times, numerous times on numerous different things? We're not just talking about, you know, sexual harassment. We're talking about, you know, stealing cosplay stuff. What does the community do? What should a community do? Do you outcast that person, banish them, not welcome them back? Or do you come back with open arms and accept them back into the community and hoping that their behavior has changed? Depending on the severity of what has been done, there are instances where I think people do deserve a second chance. But in the case of Mariah, and seeing how BS her apology has been, how insulting it is that she grins and laughs, I just can't fathom how anybody could honestly take this type of an apology seriously. If anything, I think it comes across as insulting. Blocking the people who make you feel uncomfortable, lying about not having any sponsors. We at least get a little bit, maybe like 5% of some consistency in your behavior online, Mariah, just a little bit. Because maybe if you could show maybe 5 to 10%, maybe there would be some actual consideration for the truth that you say in your words. But until then, I think that is absolutely... nothing you say here is genuine, but that's just my opinion. My opinion is not fact. What do you guys think in the comments below? Thank you for watching this video, and check out all my social media linked down below. And hey, if you like photography, check out my Instagram.